Good morning, my name is Bridget. Welcome to day 6 of my 75 soft challenge. I hope you are having an amazing day. I'm sorry if you hear any rustling. I'm here with my girl Keela. We're just sitting at the Ravine, just pulled in, and we're gonna do the walk here. It's about 5K. We're gonna walk the ravine, maybe kind of incorporate some moments of jogging in there. But as I am starting this challenge off at 290 pounds, I don't want to have any injuries or push myself too much too fast at the beginning here. So majority of this 5K is just going to be a walk. Maybe it's going to be a little bit extra quiet this morning because half the parking lot is blocked off. So we are going to get the walk in, start off our morning right. It is pretty late in the morning. It's about 10:30 now. I was intending to be here at about 8:30 or 9, but when I went to leave my house this morning, realized that my Fitbit wasn't charged. So I had to wait and charge my Fitbit because honestly, if you work out without tracking it, doesn't really count, you know? It does still count, but I just prefer to have the Fitbit on and then I can kind of like input like a little image of it as well. I just kind of like it for my own peace of mind to like look back on and be like, okay, on this day I did this, and you know, I did this many steps during the 5K, or I walked this quickly, or whatever. So I'm pretty nasally. My nose is still pretty stuffed up right now, and I honestly have a bit of a headache. I slept in a little bit too late. I wanted to be up at like 6. I didn't get up until about 7:30, which caused me to have a headache. Keela, you're in my way. That's okay, you're prettier than me anyway. I'm not really feeling the best. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I really hope not because I just got over getting sick, but that's okay. We are gonna get some fresh air. It is gonna be a brisk walk. It is about 5 degrees right now, but the sun is coming out, so that is something to be happy about. I'm very happy about that, very thankful, because even if it's windy, even if it's a little bit chilly, as long as the sun is out, it just warms up pretty quick. I'm gonna get out there, enjoy this walk, and I will check in with you a little bit later. So the leaves are all gone. There are some still clinging on. You baby girl, enjoying the walk? It's okay, no one's behind us. It's okay. I think we're just gonna take it easy on this walk. Keela's very skittish, especially when anyone is walking behind us, and every time she hears a leaf move, she's pretty skittish, but she's doing great. All right, baby girl. I'm exhausted. That walk was so good, but honestly, I'm glad it's done. I don't know if it's just like a walking in the cold thing, but I started to get like a brain freeze sensation. I think it's just like really breathing in the cold air and like huffing and puffing so much. That might be it. I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing. My headache is pretty well gone, thankfully. So we did just over 5K. I hit my 8,000 step goal. So workout's done. Step goal is done. We are about to head home. Did you have a good walk, Keela? She met a lot of cute doggies. Okay, this is your treat. Yes. Sit down, please. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. So that's her treat. She also got one at the halfway mark before we turned around and headed back. And then we're gonna go home and just relax. So you had your treat. No, you already had your treats. This is my treat, just some dehydrated mango. I haven't eaten anything yet, so I definitely kind of want to get a little bit of a boost here on my way home. It is just about 12 o'clock now, so making pretty good time. I'm gonna head home, shower, have something to eat. I have no idea what I'm eating. I didn't have any breakfast or lunch, so I'm gonna kind of combine that as like one large meal, and then I'll probably get a protein iced coffee as well because I do have some things I need to do. So that's kind of the plan for the next few hours. Just go home, shower, get ready for the day, run my errands, get a protein iced coffee, have like a lunch dinner combo type situation. Really excited for that. Okay, let me move this so you can sit down, baby. No, you don't want to sit down. Okay, sit down. Sit. We're gonna head home. She is pooped. We did have a few moments of getting some jogs in. Majority of the ravine was pretty wet and soggy, so I didn't want to jog too much because honestly I was petrified of slipping. I just have terrible luck with that. So any kind of dry part, I just kind of let her lead, and then we did kind of do some jogging, which was nice, get some of her energy out, get my heart rate up. So overall, a really great walk. We both enjoyed it, huh, Keela? Yes, good kisses. Oh, thank you. You are such a love bug. All right, so I will check in with you with what I'm eating. I just got back home. I was at my boyfriend's house for a majority of the evening. I just want to do a quick little run through for the rest of my day, as it is 12:40 a.m. right now, so way past my bedtime. But overall, I had a really great day. So when I got back home from the Ravine, I had 2 Oikos yogurts. I also had a pear, and then I showered, got ready for the day. Unfortunately, my headache was in full force after blow drying my hair and everything, so I ended up kind of laying down and having a nap with the intention of getting up within about 30 minutes and then running my errands and doing everything I had to do. But that unfortunately didn't happen. When I lay down for the nap, I did not set an alarm, and I ended up sleeping for maybe an hour and a half. So I decided to just stay home, do some stuff around the apartment, do some cleaning and all that, and then just kind of enjoy my day off. For lunch, I ended up having a One Life meal, which was the chicken stir fry, as well as adding a packet of rice to it. And then I added soy sauce and sriracha. So I had that for lunch with a bag of popcorn or chips. And I believe I added a Diet Dr. Pepper to that as well. So that was my lunch. It was very filling, very delicious. And then in regards to dinner, I went to my boyfriend's place, and it's Saturday. We weren't going to the movies or going out or anything, but he wanted to get like a treat meal. He wanted to get Popeyes. I told him that I was doing the 75 soft challenge. I start on Monday, and even though I'm able to basically have like a treat meal one day a week, or like eat a little bit above my calorie deficit one day a week, I wanted to at least get through the first week of being completely on track with eating my calorie deficit, so I didn't want to eat out. He was totally understandable about that, and I told him, I said, listen, I'm gonna stay within my calorie deficit. I'm gonna eat a pre-packaged like One Life meal that I had, but feel free to go and get whatever it is that you want. I will be fine. I will not indulge in any of it. Please do not offer me any of it so I'm not tempted. It was definitely a challenge, but I didn't feel as tempted as I thought I was going to. So he ended up picking me up. I asked him if we could go to Starbucks so I could get my espresso and add a protein shake to it, because one, I was still just tired and not in the mood to honestly kind of like hang out and be at his place and kind of be a little bit social, even though it was just us. I just didn't want to, like, I just wasn't really in the mood. And I know that that sounds kind of bad, and maybe I should have just been like, I want to stay home, but I haven't seen him in about 2 weeks because I was so sick, and our work schedules too have been really busy. So really wanted to make an effort to go over there tonight and just spend some time with him. I know that he's really missed me and I've missed him, so definitely just kind of popped some Advil and went over to his place. But he picked me up. I got the protein iced coffee, went to go and get the Popeyes. I even thought about staying in the car, but then I was like, you know what? No, I need to stop letting food control me. I will get in there. I will be fine. I will not order anything. I will not leave with anything. It's fine. I can manage smelling it and not be tempted. We were sitting there for a few minutes waiting for his food to be ready. All was good. I was kind of like distracting myself, and we were talking and stuff. I wasn't allowing any of those food noise thoughts to get into my brain, so that was super helpful. And then we went back to his place. We were sitting at the table eating, and I was smelling the Popeyes, and it was making me feel tempted to eat it, but I didn't feel tempted enough to actually take a bite of his food or, you know, ask for a fry or anything. One, because I was eating my food, so I was already like actively eating myself, and two, I wasn't looking at his food. I was, you know, even though I was smelling it, I was just like focusing on my plate, looking into his eyes during conversation, focusing on my plate, like, you know, just that. So I was tempted by the smell, but I wasn't looking at it, so I wasn't tempted in that aspect. And then I also was just telling myself, you're enjoying your food. You love this One Life meal. It was the chicken and brown rice noodle meal, which is my absolute favorite from them. I was totally satisfied. I paired that with just my water because I really needed to get my water in. And then after that, I had my protein iced coffee. And I just kept telling myself, like, every time I would smell the Popeyes and it was so strong, and I'd have a hint of being like, oh, that would taste so good, I just kept telling myself, like, girl, you've had how many years of enjoying Popeyes? like overindulging on Popeyes. Like when I was, not even when I was binging, when I would go to Popeyes, in a way it is a binge meal because I would overindulge and get way more than the average person should get. But this was my typical meal at Popeyes. I would get the 3-piece combo. I would pay the upcharge and get all breasts because I don't like the thighs and I don't like drumsticks and all that. If I'm eating chicken, especially chicken on a bone, I'm only gonna get the breasts. So I got a 3-piece combo, all breast pieces. I would get the sweet heat sauce. I would change the fries to a large fry. So I'd get like the big box of fries. I'd have the 3-piece of the chicken breasts. I would have the biscuit, and then I would have like a Coke or something. Like, I don't know how many calories that is, but that's obviously a lot. Like, that is a lot of food for one person in one sitting. And every time I would go to Popeyes, I would get that. And a lot of the time during the, you know, COVID era and all that, I was eating Popeyes at least twice a week. Like, that's all I did. I worked and I just hit the drive-thrus. That's also why I gained 50 pounds during that time, because even though I was working like 70 hours a week, it was the busiest time for me work-wise, because with the 2 jobs, I literally was working at the clinic 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then I would work at my full-time job 1:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I did that Monday through Friday, and then I'd also work Saturdays at the clinic, and I would do like 9 to 3, I think, on Saturdays was at the clinic. So I was working like crazy, but I wasn't taking care of my health at all. At that time, I was binging every day. I was gaining so much weight. I literally was just trying to run from my problems. I was in my head like, the more I work, the less time I have to focus on my depression, on my binge eating, on just like absolute not taking any control of my life, not taking any kind of moments to really give a damn about anything that was going on in my life. Just kind of drowning in work, because I was like, you know what, if I just work, if I just take on that distraction, at least I'm making money, I'm helping my family out, and then also like everything will just work out at some point, right? The world is like, shiznit is hitting the fan, and if I can at least still work and do what I need to do for my family and myself, then everything else will just work out, and you know, everything will just get better. And it doesn't. Like, in the world aspect, a lot of things did get better during that time, of course, yes, but personally wise, it did not. It actually got way worse and really bad there for a while. So I might do a full video on that. So I did gain about 50 pounds during that time. I think it was like half of 2020 going into 21, I gained the 50 pounds, and it was between like an 8-month period or something like that. I was already overweight, but that's when I hit my heaviest of 342 pounds, was during that time. So Popeyes has always been a trigger food for me in regards to binging, and then also just overindulging when I would go there on a whim or something. So I am so proud of myself tonight that I was literally sitting within like inches of a food that has always been so triggering to me, and I just powered through, and I didn't even struggle with it. Yes, I had moments of being like, oh, it'd be so good to have that, but I wasn't like overconsumed with the thought enough to like reach for a fry or ask for anything or give in to the feeling of being like, you know what, I get a treat meal once a week, I can have it if I want it. No, like it was like, I'd probably say it was like 30% of the amount of temptation that I would have on a regular basis. Like, I just felt so in control tonight, and it felt amazing, and I haven't felt that probably ever when it comes to food. And then also just saying no to myself, like not even saying no to myself, but saying not right now, you know, because obviously I'm still gonna eat Popeyes, I'm still gonna get it down the road, but I just want to like wrap my head around being more in control just for myself, because food is a drug to me. It really is. I know that sounds silly to some people, but it truly has always been my coping mechanism. I can remember as early as 8 years old struggling with binge eating, and at the time I had no idea that that's what it was. So I've been on this struggle bus for a long time, but I'm working through it, and I know that doing this 75 soft challenge, one, is overall going to help me to take back control of food, of my movement, of just being healthy and also reading books that are kind of working on my mental health as well. So I'm kind of like working on everything all at once. And also just like the timing of this challenge, like as tough as it's going to be with it being around the holiday season, around like all the comfort food time and all the treats and desserts and all the sweets and everything, it's kind of the perfect time for me to do it, because during the colder months, once the weather really starts to change into winter, I really struggle with seasonal depression. I struggle with depression year round regardless, just because of life stuff I haven't dealt with, stuff I'm working on. But when it comes to wintertime, I really get hit double because seasonal depression shows up and it's tough. I absolutely hate winter. If I could move to somewhere hot year round, I definitely would. And I feel like that would really just boost my quality of life. I feel like it does for everybody in general who's able to do that. But unfortunately, you know, being Canadian, that is part of wherever you live, it's cold and wet. So it's not like I can move somewhere that's hot year round, right? But that's okay. It's just part of where we live. So just got to take it in stride. And you think I'd be used to it now because I've been living here my whole life, but I'm not. And I feel like as I get older, I'm just like hating the winter weather more. I love the way the snow looks, and I love the fact that seasons do change, and you know, the environment changes and all the different colors and, you know, all that. But sometimes getting out when it's like negative 15 degrees and there's like so much snow, it's hard to drive and there's ice everywhere. It's very, very unmotivating for me. So I'm working through, but that's also why it's perfect timing for me to do this challenge, because I struggle most with food during the winter months. I struggle most with movement during the winter months. I literally just work, come home, put on my comfy pants, laze around in bed, and eat comfy food. This is why I need to do this challenge, just to kind of keep me on track. I have something to strive for, and it's gonna just help me be better overall, mentally and physically. Again, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Nothing's gonna be perfect every day, but as long as I just keep showing up for myself, and I think as long as I try and check off these daily goals that I have for the 75 soft challenge, I will be able to meet them each day. The key is to really just like knock those challenges out right at the beginning of the day. And for me, it is getting the movement in and getting the reading done. I think starting this week, I'm going to try and go to the gym before work. I know that once I'm done work, like I just want to go home and chill. Like I'm so drained from work that I don't want to go to the gym. The thought of going to the gym, knowing how busy it is after work, is just not something I want to do. So if I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym and know that it's empty and know that I'm going to be getting my workout in before I even go to work, and that is one less thing I have to worry about, one major thing on the 75 soft challenge list that I struggle with, if I can check that off before I even start my job, I'll be like set. I think if I get the reading done, if I get the movement in first thing in the morning, I can get the water in and eat within the calorie deficit. It'll make my day so much easier. So that's kind of the thought that I'm going into this coming week. Anyway, that was kind of like a little ramble, but I made it through the night not having any Popeyes. I stuck with my One Life meal. I had the protein iced coffee after as well, which was really nice. Gave me a boost. Overall, really great day with the food. Got all my food in. So let me just quickly go over my numbers here. So I did the 5K. Well, it was over 5K at the Ravine. It was really great. Me and Keela had a great walk. She met a lot of doggies. So that took me about an hour and 20 minutes. I got 11,736 steps. I ate within my calorie deficit. So my calorie deficit is 2,100 calories or under. I ate 1,955 calories for protein. I wasn't anywhere near my protein goal. My minimum baseline is 177 grams. I got 130 grams, but I stayed within my calorie deficit. So that's honestly like my main goal overall. Carbs, I got 235 grams. Fat, I got 51 grams. I'm not at all paying attention to the carbs or the fat. It's really just my top priorities for the 75 soft challenge is getting the movement in, because depression hates movement. So getting my movement in is like the top tier goal. Eating within my calorie deficit is my second goal. And then getting 8,000 steps a day is my third goal. I also drank my 3 liters of water, so all the goals were achieved. I did read chapter 6 of my self-help book as well, which I think is actually in the dining room right now, but it is called Why Has No One Told Me This Before? It's basically just like a self-help book about tools to use for like overthinking, for depression, intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts, like stuff like that. I'm only 6 chapters in, but so far I'm really loving it. This is definitely a book that I want to reread again, maybe even like 2 or 3 times, just because there's so much information that I want to take in, and different tools are in this book that I have already implemented in my daily life, especially when it comes to my struggle with intrusive thoughts. The tips in that book are really helpful. If anyone out there struggles with intrusive thoughts, depression, overthinking, like, you know, all or nothing type thinking, stuff like that, I definitely highly recommend this book. It is absolutely amazing. Really enjoying it so far. I will definitely read it again. I will definitely recommend it to anyone out there who struggles like me. Definitely worth checking out. 6, finishing off strong. Cannot wait for day 7 tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. I will be going grocery shopping. I will be hitting Costco before they even open. I have to go to Walmart as well. And then I do have a few more errands I think I have to run. And then of course I will be doing a few check-ins tomorrow, because I want to do daily check-ins to keep me on track, to show the day-to-day realities of doing the 75 soft challenge, especially coming from someone who struggles so hard with binge eating, depression, staying on track, sticking with anything really, honestly, and just showing that, you know, I can do it. I am on day 6. I'm still early on in the challenge, but so far going strong. If you are on a weight loss journey, if you're on a health journey, if you're just trying to show up for yourself a little bit better each day, keep at it. Like, you can do it. Like, I've struggled. My health journey, my weight loss journey has been literally like this for the past like 15 years. And it's probably going to be like this for a while longer, right? But I keep showing up. I keep striving to do better. I am absolutely loving this challenge. I am only 6 days in, but I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It is a very long tunnel because I am just early on this challenge, but I'm loving it so far. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of the daily choices that I make. And even when I'm struggling, I've been pushing through. It's only been 6 days, but coming off 6 weeks of just straight binging every day, being so deep in the depression and deep in the binge eating and the negative thoughts, and just really struggling there for a while due to a lot of like life things that happened and everything. I'm just glad to be back on track. I'm glad to be showing up for myself. I am feeling better. I'm smiling more. I don't know. I feel so much better. And I know that that is achieving these small goals through the 75 soft challenge and just the changes that I've made in my life, you know, mentally and spiritually. Like, I've really been noticing a change in myself. And honestly, that's all thanks to God. Like, I am a baby Christian. I am totally new to all this, and I'm just taking everything in stride. I am learning each and every day, and I'm just trying to take in as much positive, godly, happy, honestly, like shining bright light content and information. And I'm reading my Bible, and I'm reading devotionals, and I'm listening to different podcasts, and I'm just watching sermons on YouTube. Like, I'm just loving this journey. I am just taking everything in stride, and so far I feel like I'm becoming a better person for myself, honestly. Like, just changing things in my head, and just like overall being kinder to myself. And you need to be kinder to yourself too. We can be our own worst enemies, and you have to remind yourself, anytime you think something negative about yourself, you have to be like, would you say this to your best friend? Would you say this to your sister? Would you say this to your mom? Like, that's kind of how I've also changed things in my head, and being like, would I say this to my mother? Absolutely not. If I said this out loud to my mom and been like, Mom, this is what I think about myself right now, she would be like, no, we're stopping that right now. So I have to check myself and be like, no, we're done with this bad talk. We're done with putting ourselves down. We're done with it, right? Just stop. Like, just put an end to it. Just do better for yourself. Think better, do better, and just keep showing up. I know that was like a weird side tangent, but I feel like I'm on like a second wind now. It's almost 1:30 in the morning, and I don't even feel tired at all. I feel like I could go on for a while, but I'm not going to talk your ear off. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to try and go to bed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.